What is good, everyone? Good evening, and welcome to another Raiders Unfiltered. Y'all already know what time it is. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Here we go.
J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Stand up, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Welcome to the channel. It's called Just Raiders, baby. If you ain't subscribed, then you gotta try. Just Raiders, baby, nothing but love for the Raiders. Been an OG before 93. Shout out to the nation, they always crazy. So nation, ride with me, taking over my style. It's amazing, making hits like Maxx on the blitz. The silver and black, on the attack. They on the map, if you a fan and you with that. J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, J Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Putting on shows like Brock on the go. We just like J Raider, the innovator, making shows like Good Morning Raiders, the originator. Raiders Unfiltered, raw, never censored. The post-game reaction, nothing but action. Just Raiders, baby. Just Raiders. Just Raiders, baby. J Raider, the creator with the killer content. Hot takes and the dopest, yes. Raider Nation, the only nation. There ain't no question.
Just win, baby.
Win, baby.
Just win.
What is good, Raider Nation? Happy Monday, y'all. Hopefully, you guys had a good weekend. Hopefully, you guys had a good day and you guys are having a pleasant evening. But welcome to another Raiders Unfiltered. I'm your host. I am Jay Raider. Appreciate everyone pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. You already know, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead, head on over, hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you make sure you guys head on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit those likes, be part of the chat. We got a good show lined up for you. A lot of things going down over the weekend. We had the show on Saturday. Shout out to my guy Raider Primos and Raider Will. We did the damn thing. Talked about Robbie Leonard. We're gonna go ahead and continue that conversation. Obviously there's some people with different opinions on that, and they're on different sides of the fence about that hire. We're gonna go ahead and talk about that and all the rest of the hires as well. But before we go ahead and kick this thing off, you already know I can't go ahead and start the show without acknowledging my peoples in the chat really quick. Appreciate you guys. Salute to everybody. My guy, Red Riot in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up. My guy, Cool Kev in the building. What's good? The real Dixon Cider in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. Shout out to my guy, Raider Nation Jason in the building. Make sure you guys go ahead and head on over and give us subscribe and follow my guy, Raider Nation Jason. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute. Appreciate you tapping in. My guy, hey, appreciate you liking it. Salute, man. My guy, Jason Downs in the building. What is good, my guy? The never hater who brings the Raiders waves and great takes, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute, salute. Leo Keller in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. IE Raider Mike in the building. What is the deal, my guy? Salute. Appreciate you pulling up and rocking with me. Shout out to my guy, Raider Ryan. Right now, on the grind, doing the damn thing. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tapping in. Don't even worry about being involved in chat, man. I just appreciate you tapping in. Hopefully, man, this makes the shift go by faster. I've been there, done that. Worked that evening shift, worked that overnight shift. It's no joke, bro. But hey, man, salute to you. Hats off to you. Trying to make that bread, man. There ain't no other. But let's go ahead and kick this thing off, y'all. Raiders made coaching hires this weekend and today, just a little bit ago. Crazy shit. Just maybe an hour before I was supposed to go on. Something came through the wire, and let me go ahead and pull that up. Got the latest hire. Literally happened just over an hour ago. Shout out to my guy Raiders Resistance on X or on IG. You're whack. I'm just kidding. Hurry on over. Hit that follow to my guy on X, on IG. He is on it with the Raider news. You already know. They ain't no other but Raiders Resistance. Shout out to my guy. But he put this out there. Raiders have hired Travis Smith as their next defensive line coach, per Ryan McFadden, dropping the story. But an old familiar face returns to the Raiders, like I just put out on that tweet. If y'all don't know, if y'all forgot, which is okay, a lot of us would like to go ahead and forget the bad days. But Raiders, Travis Smith was with us just a few years ago. And it's good to go ahead and see him back with the silver and black. He was with the Raiders from 2019 to 2021. So he was part of the Oakland Raiders, was part of that with that move that the Raiders did back in 2020. And was here for that year after as well. So familiar face, somebody that is familiar with the Raiders. Obviously has worked with Maxx Crosby, but I'm not really mad at this hire for sure. Just was working with the Titans last year as well. So this is one of the latest coaching hires that happened. And that was literally just a little while ago. That's the crazy part. But let's go ahead into the other coaching hires that happened as well. Raiders going out and hiring Giants Matt Robinson as their secondary coach for that secondary. So Raiders pulling Matt Robinson away from the Giants. So this is an interesting move by the Raiders. He has some talent. And for all intents and purposes, he was going to go ahead and work with Harbaugh in New York, but that changed right away. But let me go ahead and go on to the next hire real quick, and let me go ahead and bring that up. And again, this one is probably making a little bit more waves than Matt Robinson. Joe DeCamillis has been hired as a special teams coordinator by the Raiders. Joe DeCamillis was recently with the South Carolina Gamecocks. Positive needed. But I think the biggest thing here, yes, he was collegiate this past season, but before that, he was with the LA Rams. He was there for quite a while. Was part of their Super Bowl run. up until I believe 2023 when he left. So if you're not familiar with Joe DeCamillis, he's a very vocal individual. But yes, now the thing about this here is, you got Joe who's been out of the league for a little while. And so there's some shit that's changed in the last couple of years. Normally, when the special teams, it's kind of the same old. But what a coincidence! The fucking league changed the rules for kickoffs. So that's the little bit of a little worry right there in that part that you can go ahead and kind of attribute. But I mean, this is a pretty solid hire. Aside from that, um, he has 30 plus years of experience, was part of a winning culture out in LA with the Rams. So he knows success, Super Bowl champion. I think this is a pretty solid hire that you can go ahead and bring into the building, and you have somebody with experience that can go ahead and put the special teams back or improve it from prior years, not just this past year, which was terrible, probably one of the worst years for the Raiders special teams in years. Usually that's a position that we don't have to worry about. Usually we're struggling either on the offensive side of the ball, which usually has been the case, or on the defensive side of the ball. But this past season, we struggled in all phases of the game. So it's good to go ahead and see a guy like Joe DeCamillis now. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, to the learning curve to try to go ahead and really figure out the new coaching. I mean, sorry, the new kickoff rules. I don't think it'll be too much of a stretch for a guy like Joe. Obviously, just you have a landing zone. They got to go ahead and announce offside kicks. I think that's really the two big things. But the core of it is pretty much the same. That really hasn't changed all too much. So let me go ahead and pull up the next big hire, and I think this is the one that we're all ready to go ahead and really talk about. Raiders, and we all kind of saw it. We all kind of saw it coming. If they're able to go ahead and get this guy to interview, that we're going to go ahead and most likely lock it down. Go ahead and hire Andrew Janocko as the Raiders' next offensive coordinator. You guys, let me know down below, how do you guys feeling about these hires? And then one more hire, and I didn't pull. Obviously, I'm putting them up for last because we talked about it on Saturday. But y'all already know. Raiders went out and hired Robbie Leonard as the next defensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders. So let me go ahead and pull that up. So Robbie Leonard was named the defensive coordinator over the weekend as well. And there's, again, well, from what I heard from Raider Nation, there's differences of opinion. A lot of mostly good, a lot of it good, I should say. I don't say mostly, but a lot of it is good. Some of it is some people don't like it. Some people are worried. Some people have mixed emotions, and that's totally okay. Actually, there's no wrong way to feel about this. You feel what you feel, but there's certain things that are facts, and there's certain things that are not. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that in just a bit. But I wanted to go ahead and get your opinion on these coaching hires. How do you guys feeling about that? Or do you guys like the Robbie Leonard hire? Do you guys like the Andrew Janocko hire? Joe Camillus, Matt Robinson, Travis Smith, who just literally got hired over an hour ago, made official by the Raiders. They're bringing him into the building and helping out on that defensive line, taking major responsibilities over for Robbie Leonard, who's now going to be running the ship the defensive ship, I should say, and really directing and handling that defensive side of the ball for the Raiders. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. So, real quick, let's see here. Shout out to my guy, Ray Ryan. He says, what do you think about trying to add Bradley Chubb? He's healthy. He was released, and Spotrac has him about 18 mil a year, other side of max. All right, that good question, bro. Good question. And I was gonna save this for later, but you brought it up. Cool. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a little bit on the fence about him for the reason being that Dolphins released him for a reason. He doesn't have good history of staying healthy, and that to me raises eyebrows. That to me raises concerns. How much time is he going to be really on the field compared to at whatever point in this next season coming up, if you decide to go ahead and bring him on, is he going to be injured? Right? You got to outweigh those options. I mean, you can see that price tag, 18 million. Yes, it's not a whole lot, but it's not chump change. Sorry. The crazy circle of death was spinning. But that's one thing that we have to go ahead and kind of think in regards to Bradley Chubb. I mean, if the Raiders decide to go ahead and take a flyer on them, I'm not particularly too mad about it, but I would probably go ahead and try to see what else is out there. I wouldn't try to go ahead and go for him yet, even though every dude that hits free agency, they always tag us into it. I'll probably exercise a little bit of reservation in regards to Bradley Chubb. Obviously, we do need another guy out, on the other side of Maxx to go ahead and leave some of that double team that happens with him, and just having another guy on the other side that can get to the quarterback. It speaks volumes. Game changer. But we also have to be smart about this. We just took a flyer on Malcolm Koonce, a guy who just came back from injury. That didn't work out, and looks like for him, most likely we're probably gonna go ahead and let him test out free agency. I don't see it where they re-sign Malcolm Koonce. Could, if it's on hold, he's not gonna get paid $12 million. Let me just tell you that. And if they do decide to go ahead and bring him back and keep him, he's not gonna get paid $12 million. No way. But if you're able to go ahead and get on a cheaper deal, I'm not too mad about that. But also depending who's out in free agency. So yeah, those are some of the variables out there. You know what I mean? Real quick, shout out to my guy Rebel in the building. He says Travis Smith is a hire is huge. He was key in the development of Khalil Mack. Crosby, it was huge for Jeffrey Simmons with the Titans last year. Yeah, facts, bro. That's I'm with that. I'm not mad at this hire at all, bro. And obviously we don't know what type of it's going to be running. We can kind of take a peek. It's probably going to be some sort of variation of possibly PG. Or what percentage of that system is he going to go ahead and implement? That's yet to be seen. It could be 50%. It could be 20%. It could be 80%. We don't know. He has experience. And the reason why I say that's a variant, because he's been with PG for the last 3 years, 4 years now, 3 years, I believe. And so, he's the guy who's been working with closely, almost every day. So a lot of that stuff, a lot of the way that he runs that system rubs off. So I'm pretty sure he's going to go ahead and definitely pull some things from there. But, with it being Robbie, he's also going to go ahead and try to implement his own scheme. we could see a 4-3 type of defense. That could be a possibility. We'll see. And that's the thing that nobody really knows. So, these guys, the guys, like Maxx and Adam Butler, guys who are going to be here, they'll know, but the league won't really know what's going on. It's going to take them a few games to go ahead and kind of, get the lay of the land and start being able to go ahead and start figuring out that defense if they can. So, cool thing about Robbie, again, experience. Yes. He's worked with Mike McDonald, Brian Flores. So he knows his shit. He knows his shit for sure. Shout out to my guy, Raider Jeff. I don't know who you call ho. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up and tapping in. But yes, Robbie Leonard will be the next defensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders. So the coaches are being assembled. I think we only have a few more positions left that need to go ahead and be filled out. I don't know off the top of my head how many are left, but a lot of the key ones are getting cinched up pretty quickly. As you know, also Joe Woods was retained as well. Defensive pass game coordinator was retained, so he is also there. He's going to be in the building. He's going to be helping out with that defense as well. So there's some familiar faces. There's some new faces that are going to be coming as well. So yet to be seen. But I think the position that we're still kind of wondering what's going to go ahead and happen, who's going to be brought in to fill in that. And I think with the biggest need this season is fixing that needs to be done this offseason. Offensive line coach definitely needs to be the offensive line needs to be addressed. We need to go ahead and bring in a solid coach this offseason to go ahead and be able to fix this struggling offensive line. Things were so bad that, come on. We had dudes getting together after practice, after hours, watching and studying film with Spy Tech because the own GM, I'm sorry, their own online coach was not doing it. So, and we saw how bad they performed, how bad they struggled. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch for sure. So this hire, whoever we decide to go ahead and bring in, has to be important now. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there. If you guys don't know, if you guys haven't been keeping up with the news, is okay. I'm here to help. I'm here to help. So this was put out there as well a couple of days ago. John Benton confirmed that he's going to go ahead and stay with the Seahawks. So he will not be leaving Seattle to find another position. He will be staying in Seattle with Mike McDonald over there. And, for those of us that were hoping that we'll be able to go ahead and poach him away, unfortunately, that is not the case. So what now? What do we do? Who is out there? There's not a whole lot of names. And again, this is a byproduct of us waiting so long for our head coach. We're kind of having to hurry up and try to figure this part out. And it's a good thing. It's a bad thing, but there is also some goodness that can come out of it. You gotta look at the silver line. I'm the glass half full type of dude. All right. Don't say no. That's just the type of dude that I am. But there's not a lot of names out there right now outside of John Benton. I think the biggest name again, Jeff Stoutland, he's, he parted ways with Philly. He's out there, word on the street. He most likely probably take this year off. So we don't know necessarily where his mind's at, if he's ready to go ahead and get back on the saddle and coach immediately, or if he's wanting to go ahead and take the year off, reflect, and look for something else next season. He's been in the league for a very long time, rocked with Philly for a very long time. That marriage did not end particularly well. It wasn't bitter, but it just did not end too amicably. So, and I don't know if his rights are available on top of that. So you have that question as well. But I think ultimately it's kind of like where is his head, where is his heart at the moment? Is he willing to go ahead and possibly be interested in coming over to Vegas and working over here? Right, we don't know. So I think first and foremost, you got to go ahead and put a feeler out there and see where he's at on that, and if there's a conversation to be had, let's have that conversation, right? But at this moment, we just don't know, right? My guy Rita Ryan, he says Philbin for an O-line coach. That's another guy that's out there. And let me just tell you about Joe Philbin. And for those that forgot, Joe Philbin did a pretty decent job when he took over for Luke Getsy, who was fired back in 2023. After or what is it, 24, excuse me, 24, once Lugetti was clipped, he took over and he improved that offensive line, or I'm sorry, 24. So he improved that offensive line, so much so that if I can fooled our guy Spytek and Pete Carroll, which they felt, looking at the performance over the last few games, they didn't really need to go ahead and address it a whole lot, which they were fucking dead wrong. If you saw the performance from the beginning of the season all the way to the end of the season, we did not look good. We improved, but not to the point where we don't need to go ahead and address it, right? So, but Philbin came in and he was able to go ahead and improve that offensive line. So, he knows these guys. He knows their strengths. He knows their weaknesses. We've seen what he can do. He could be a possible guy that we can approach, barring it be at almost a fucking the 12th hour. We're approaching that 12th hour already, and so time is running out for us to be able to go ahead and get all our coaches in the building and start getting prepared for the combine, start getting prepared for free agency. Time is up. And again, this is just the byproduct of what happens when you wait to hire your head coach for so long, right? Slim pickings. And sometimes, unfortunately, you have to settle, right? You have to fill in the position somehow. And then we can't make the same mistake in hiring a Brandon Carroll type of dude either. So we got to be smart. So, but yeah, Joe Philbin's kind of out there as well. A guy that we could potentially approach for sure. Let's see here. Okay. My guy Rebel says that Stoutland is still working with his former team in some capacity. I don't know. If you heard that, cool. I don't know. I haven't heard that he has. As far as I know, he's done, because when he says goodbye, it's pretty much goodbye, bro. That you don't want to be in the building anymore. You're just done. For whatever reason, either he wants to go ahead and retire. He is on the older side. I think he's like mid-60s or something like that. Yeah, I don't even put it past the guy that if he wants to go ahead and upright retire, it could definitely happen. A lot of crazier shit has happened. So We'll see what's up. Rebel also says, I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Morgan ends up being the offensive line coach. He has ties with Janocko and Luke Steckel. That's also another name that's out there as well. So I think probably that would make more sense. Again, we all know that in this league, relationships matter. That's just the bottom line. So having a relationship with two guys that are already in here speaks volumes, right? I don't know where Philbin's ties with the Kubiak family. Um, I will probably have to go ahead and look at the tree and see if they cross paths. I mean, obviously, about people know about people. That's something that definitely has to be looked at for sure. Uh, Let me see here. But again, what do you guys? How are you guys feeling about these hires? Let me know. You know, put it down in the chat. For my guys watching the replay, go ahead and hit it down in the comment section. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up, rocking with me this evening. Salute to everybody here. All right, so let before I go into the next segment, I want to go ahead and take a few comments real quick. I'm not going to be on for a whole lot long. I got the kids; they're not feeling good. They're still under the weather. Fortunately, I haven't gotten sick. Well, hold on, knock on my fake wood. So I'm crossing my fingers, So yeah, let's see what happens. All right. Shout out to my guy Jeff. He says the most important one is still open and it sucks. It's taking this long for it. Yeah, and again, it's just happens when you are your head coach for so long, you know. Let's see. Shout out to Joe. He says, hey bro, has anyone heard from Maxx Crosby? Because I just got off an NFL podcast and they were saying that Seattle is offering a 2027 and 2028 first rounders and Nwasu for Crosby. We'll see. What podcast is that, bro? If it's another dude doing a Seahawk podcast just like me, I'll take that with a grain of salt, my guy. You know, this is the thing. What I try to do, I just try to go ahead and I put shit out from the media. If it's a rumor, I'll tell you if it's a rumor. And that's kind of the difference that I put out there. So I don't know where that's necessary from. I haven't heard anything, and I've been on social media for the last hour and a half or so. I haven't seen anything in regards to a trade offer or anything like that. Again, you know, I didn't even want to go ahead and really touch the Maxx topic. I think at this point you can't even do a show without touching and talking about Maxx. But if that's it, I mean, to get two first for not even this year, for next year and the following year, I mean, and a player, I don't know. We'll see. I think draft capital would be definitely something you would need to go ahead and compensate for. But like I've always said, if the trade's gonna happen, bro, it's gonna happen in secret and it's gonna be like a surprise. It's gonna happen where we're hearing all this shit, but just boom, it just happens. Like something like all of a sudden, and then it gets done, and then Spytek takes the blame for it, even though probably Max signed off on it. So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. But let's see here. I appreciate you, my guy. Salute to you, bro. And make sure you guys go ahead and head on over. Hit my guy, Raider Rebel, Raiders Unleashed. Give him a follow. If you want to go ahead and get, great fire takes, make sure you hit up my guy here. Definitely has a different opinion than a lot of dudes out here. But My guy always sticks to his guns, and it's a good shit that he puts out there. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit up my guy Rebel. Salute to you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see here. All right. My guy, IE Raider Mike, he says, I like these hires so far. New era, fresh start, no retreads. Facts, bro. Facts. And no, let's not bring up the fucking DC shit either. I'm good. I'm good off of that. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy 805. He was here in the building as well. But I saw you. I got cut off on got cut up with something else. Salute. Just over here doing some mock drafts, trading back. Come on, dog. Take a flyer with Mendoza. I say take a flyer for you. For me, it ain't. But it's all good. I know how you feel. But do a mock with him, bro. Just like for shits and giggles. Do one with him. So picking him at 1. So let's see what we can definitely come up with. Make sure you get some defensive guys too, for sure. Keep it balanced, dog. Leo says going young and not off pedigrees instead of going off coaching trees. I love it. Hey, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. All right. Shout out to my guy Bueno in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to my guy SoCal Sal in the building. My guy, salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Let's see. What do you guys think about Raiders hiring a defensive coach from the Titans, Travis Smith, bro? Like I said, he's worked on developments for guys like Khalil Mack, Justin Simmons. He, obviously being with the Titans the previous year and looking what he was able to go ahead and do over there with him for sure. Man, I kept seeing it when we played the Titans. Last season, that was hard to watch, bro, because he was just fucking wrecking dudes, and kind of imposing as well, almost, like that type of scenario. So, yeah, I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. Obviously, got a few more positions to go ahead and fill up, but we're getting that down. We're getting that down for sure. All right. So, since we're speaking, we got our core unit here, our core coordinators filled up, right? What is this team going to really look like in this, what is this team going to look like this offseason, right? So now we can kind of get a little bit more of lay of the land. I think without us having hired offensive line coach, and I think we're going to go ahead and get that figured out this week for sure. For sure. I mean, time's running out. What are we? This week, today is the 16th. Tomorrow is the 17th, which is my son's birthday, his first birthday. I'm so excited about that. Happy birthday to my son, Nicholas Maxx. Sucks I got to work most of the day, but we're going to do some fun shit. And he's been under the weather, so it sucks. But back to what I was trying to go ahead and say. So we're only after this week's only 1 week left in the month of February. We get into March, and literally we're about 3.5 weeks away from the start of free agency. The combine starts, I believe, next week or the week after that. I think on the 2nd. Got to double check the dates. I think it's from the 27th to the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Jeff, double check me on that. So the point being is that time is starting to run out. So we got to get this figured out really, really, really quick. But I think we can go ahead and try and make assumptions, even with us without knowing who's going to be really hitting that coaching position for the offensive line, because we know it's going to be addressed. We just don't know who's going to be coaching it necessarily, right? Obviously we know that we're going to go ahead and really go after and rebuild this offensive line, right? So we have some questions where, are we really going to go after Linderbaum? Are we going to go ahead and go after Braden Smith, and replace that right tackle position? Are we going to bump up DJ Glaze? How's that going to look like? Are we going to go ahead and try to go after Rashid Shaheed? Is that a guy that we're going to possibly take a flyer on? For a lot of the media a lot of the media out there is, or obviously anybody hits free agency, there already tags in it, but that's one that kind of makes more sense. For obviously he just finished playing with Kubiak, and we need another receiver. That's just point blank, right? So, is he a guy that we potentially go after, right? Are we going to go ahead and bring in running back help for Genty from free agency, or are we going to draft the guy? Those are some of the questions. Or are we going to go after in free agency on the defensive side of the ball, right? A lot of these linebackers that we got, a lot of it's Pete's guys. I'm telling you, I don't see most of these guys here, with like an exception to Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes will probably still stay here, right? I could maybe Devin White, maybe lives to fight another day. Not my personal favorite, but maybe he did enough to live to fight another day. I don't know, right? Jamal Adams could be another guy. We'll see. But outside of those guys, a lot of these guys are going to be gone, right? And that's really going to be the first test for Robbie Leonard on bringing in certain guys. Are we finally going to go ahead and address that nickel position, a position that we've been really struggling in? Are we going to go ahead and really be able to address and cinch up that middle of the field that literally we get wrecked time and time? It's time and time again, and so it's a problem, right? So what is that going to look like? We're going to go ahead and get some help for Aziel Pomau. Who are we going to go after in that position? So what is this offseason going to really look like? Those are some of the questions. To be honest with you guys, I wouldn't hold my breath for all these big names to come splashing down. You're gonna have those. You're gonna have maybe a couple of those, right? Maybe 3 of those, maybe 4, right? I don't see a whole lot of big names dropping. I really feel that we're not gonna go on the cheap route completely, but we're gonna be a little bit conservative on certain things, right? And really hit it where it needs to be hit. So, for example, we might not go for a big name corner or big name nickel or defensive tackle or linebacker, I should say, right? Maybe get a more solid guy a little bit farther down the track and conserve some of that money for like a guy when we have to go ahead and possibly maybe even get a bidding war for a guy like Tyler Linderbaum. Because why? This offensive line is pretty bad to the point that we need to go ahead and bring in certain guys, or we need to really go ahead and bolster that up, because it's just not cutting it, right? How much is that is coaching? How much is that is the talent, right? We know where we're at with JPJ. He's talented. Cole Miller, he's good. But outside of that, there's questions with DJ Glaze. We know Parham is most likely going to be gone after the season. I'll be surprised if he's still here. I'll be surprised. I'll be pissed and surprised if he's still here, right? Kappa, I think he's on a 2 year, so he has 1 more year. I don't know if they release him or not. They could not. I don't know, right? We know where we're at with We know what we potentially could have with Caleb Rogers. We know what we could potentially have with Charles Grant, but there is questions on certain positions, right? So we need guards. We need a right tackle potentially. How much is that? Is coachable? That's a question, right? And that also depends on who we bring in as the offensive line coach. So there's a lot of things that have to go ahead and we have to go ahead and taking count in regards to this upcoming free agency that's literally right around the corner, just weeks away, right? So it'll be interesting to see what kind of direction they go there. But I think for draft purposes, I think this is going to be we're going to get the key pieces offensively, but it's going to be more defensive. That you're going to be drafting. Might get a lineman, maybe two in the draft. We only have 10 picks, and that's at the moment. That's if Spytek doesn't decide to go up or down the board. He could definitely do that. We might end up with 8 picks, and we get a higher pick. Maybe an extra third. I don't know. Could happen. We did see it happen. Or he trades back a couple spots in the third or second, and we get some extra draft capital. That could potentially happen as well. So we'll just see what direction that happens. And obviously, we know how some people feel that are in the chat right now. But again, appreciate you guys pulling up. Make sure, if you guys haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that subscribe on your boy. It really does go ahead and support the show, help out the show get out to the YouTube algorithm. Appreciate you guys pulling up, rocking with me on this Monday night. If you really want to go ahead and support the show, become a member, become part of the JRB fam. Got the link pinned up top. So make sure you go ahead and hit that link to become a member today. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna take some comments real quick. All right. Oh, I went too far back. All right. Yeah. I don't think it's not that soon. Ryan, I think it's the 20, it's late February. Here, let me look real quick. The 23rd to March 2nd. I think the on the field date, so when they start doing the drills and stuff, is the 26th, which is next Thursday. Next Thursday, the combine is going to start. So, we know Spy is going to be in full attendance. Obviously, we would want to go ahead and see Clint there, and getting all these positions filled up, and the scouts and coaching staff and whatever to be up there as well. So, we'll see what happens. So hopefully, I think the biggest thing is that we get that offensive line position cinched up sometime this week. Super important, because we need to go ahead and start figuring that part out for sure. Shout out to my guy Arnie in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Which of our free agents best fits our new offense and defense? Like the guy. What do you mean? Like which of our own free agents? Like the guys that are potentially going to leave, or the guys that we want to go ahead and get? Give me a little bit more clarity on that. I think Eric Stokes is going to be a free agent, so that's a guy I would like to go ahead and re-sign and keep in the building. I definitely would want to go ahead and keep that guy around, to see where we're at with him. I think pretty solid, stayed healthy all season long. So I would definitely want to mind Eric Stokes back. Outside of that, defensively, maybe I like Jamal Adams from one of our guys. that we brought into free agency. And most likely he's going to go ahead and go back on free agency. I like Thomas Booker, and I don't think Thomas Booker is a free agent. Let me look. I think he's. I think he's. I think he has another year with us. Um, okay, so he's actually on a 1 year deal. So he's also going to go ahead and hit free agency. I like him. There was, there's some potential there for sure. I mean, he was with Philly before that. We traded away um, our guy, Jacorian Bennett, for him. So he's on the cheap end. He's about just over $1 million. So um, I wouldn't mind him. But other than that, um, for depth, I did like Ian Thomas just for the depth piece. I think he played pretty solid. If they decide to go ahead and keep him, that's cool. From the offensive line, who's going to be a free agent, Bon Voyage. Not interested. So, but yeah, we'll see. But no, those are my guys. It's not a lot of dudes. Not a lot of dudes. So, let's see here. Uh, all right. D Money says if the Raiders are started from young talent / rebuild, do you agree with trading Maxx now and getting value back versus not getting nothing later? Man, already with the Maxx talks. Again, I wasn't really trying to go ahead and hit it, but um, it's like fuck, you can't avoid this shit. Um, and this is the thing, and I wanted to ask this question, and I'm gonna answer your question right now. But this all correlates together, bro. So for everybody in chat, are you guys feeling the Robbie hire Leonard? Is it a good hire? Is it a bad hire? Do you guys feel that he more than deserved it on his own right? Nothing to do with Maxx, or is it a like two birds with one stone type of deal, or is it just fully to appease Maxx? What are you guys' take on this? Let me know down in the chat. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are watching the replay. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. Solid question. No bad answers. No bad answers. Unless you give me false information, then it's a bad answer. But your opinion is your opinion, nonetheless. Let me know what you guys think about that. But now goes to question. Now it raises the question of what does this mean for Maxx, right? Now we know that Robbie's going to be calling shots. He's the guy. He's the head honcho. We know that they have a really close relationship. They've worked together for a few years now, and he thinks highly of Rob Leonard. So is that enough? And again, this is with me, not even me, but this is if you think that these rumors are even true, right? And that's another question in itself. Are these rumors even true? Is he really disgruntled? Or is he a little bit hurt? Not so much disgruntled, but is he a little bit hurt in regards to kind of how things ended? At the end of the season with Brady and Spy and Alex Guerrero. Is that even a real thing, or is it just something that's just been blown out of proportion? But either way, it's out in the media, it's out there. We're talking about it on the show. People talking about it in the chat, and that's why I didn't even put nothing Maxx related on the thumbnail or even geared the show around that. But it is what it is. I think we're at a point where we can't ignore it. I think it is what it is, right? But does Maxx really leave, right? Or and that's a double-ended question where it could be pertaining to Maxx wanting to leave, or do we ship him out? And that goes to my guy's comment and question that he proposed just a bit ago, is that should we trade Max now and try to get the max value before it's too late, before getting nothing later. I don't think we would ever not get anything from Max unless this guy like literally up and breaks off his leg or something like that. You know, I think you're always gonna go ahead and get a value for Max. Now, what does that value mean? It could always mean different things, but my thing is this: I'm not on the let's trade Max train. And what I mean by that is I don't feel like we needed to actively shop him. And I've said this on multiple lives. If he wants out, he doesn't have to tell us, the fan base, that he wants out. He just needs to go ahead and talk to Spytech, and it'll get done. It'll happen. Let it be known now. If you really care about this team and you're just not feeling the rebuild, or you know your feelings are too much in the way of you working towards putting a winning product on the field, because this is where it starts now, right? You start working towards putting a winning product on the field, and it's very hard for it to happen year one, and especially if you want to go ahead and maintain a long-term success. It's not gonna, normally it doesn't happen in the first year, or just 1 year. You want to go ahead and have it happen over 4, 5, 6, 10 years, preferably, right? I mean, we're talking playoffs, winning the division, winning conferences, you know um, winning Super Bowls. That's what it translates to, right? The work starts now. And we've heard things in the past where he's openly said doesn't really want to be a part of the rebuild, right? So if that's really the sentiment to currently and up to this point, and you don't want to be part of that with this team, then let it be known. You don't have to tell us. You don't have to go ahead and let the fan base know that you want out. You can save face, whatever, and let Spytech go to work and do what he does best and help us get our rebuild, you know, fast track as fast as we can, you know, to where we could potentially make a run the following year, year two, or possibly year three. I'm talking about serious run, and that's a fast track. And that's if you're not on board. But if he's on board, great, let's do it. Max is gonna do what Max does, and whether he wants to address it or not, that's his prerogative. That's just how it is. And I think when you get to a point and where you're addressing these issues time and time again, saying the same shit, that I want to be here, want to be here, want to be here, and yet your words are keep getting twisted, you're gonna get fucking fed up. I'm annoyed just talking about it, and we talk about it every few months at this point, right? We've been talking about it for almost a month now, or 3 weeks, going on 2 3 weeks now. This happened during Super Bowl week, and we're getting towards the end of February, and we're still talking about this, right? It hasn't gone away, and I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. Until I don't think it ever goes away. I think there's always going to be that stigma and that scenario of, does Max leave, until we actually start winning again. That's really when it probably start going away. So I say no. Not active. I'm not down to actively shop him away. But if he wants out, let's go ahead and try to get the best thing, as the max as possible for the max value as possible for him. No pun intended, or pun intended. No pun intended. But yeah, I don't feel like we should shop him. But if you're gonna do it now. Because as time goes on, the value does start depreciating. And again, I go back to the same thing that I've said before on different shows. You're not gonna get as much as you think you're gonna get. Um, I forgot whoever posted that comment earlier about a player in the 2027 and 2028 first. I mean, if you're able to go ahead and get a deal like that, you probably go ahead and take it. Realistically, I'm looking at a first and a second for this year, and that's it. And if maybe you can get 2 seconds out of it, and if you're lucky, if you fleece somebody, maybe you can get two firsts out of it and maybe a second. It's all about the deal that Spytech makes, but the balance is not that high. There was a moment in time where we can get 3 first round picks for Maxx Crosby, but that time has passed. Remember, this guy's been injured. He's had surgeries. You got to take that. You got to take that into account. So, hopefully that answered your question. Hopefully. Shout out to my guy Arnie. He says, "What are your thoughts on development of Darren Porter, Tommy freaking Eichenberg, Tonka Hemingway, JJ Pegues for this year?" Well, for one, we know what Robbie can do, and now that we got Travis Smith in the building, it's only gonna get better. For guys like Pegues, guys that are going to be in the trenches, those guys are going to really reap the benefits. Who we're going to bring in for linebacker coach, that's going to be a different thing, right? So we're still waiting on that. I'm not too worried about that because we know what Robbie can do, but I think these guys are going to go ahead and excel, right? Whoever they also decide to bring in for DB coach, that's going to go also play into a factor. You still got to go ahead and work with these guys. Like I said, Darren Porter, there's talent there for sure. I mean, this kid's only played corner for 2 years. He has the measurables. He was able to go ahead and learn this position and play at a high clip. That is a very hard thing to do. So that goes to tell you, the what type of special dude this guy is. So definitely got to go ahead and keep working with these guys. The main thing that we kind of lacked, and that a lot of Raider Nation kind of got frustrated on. At a point, we knew that the season was done. It was cooked, and we didn't see the rookies out there to go ahead and assess their potential and just give them reps to see what they can do. Right? We didn't see that. We didn't see that too very late, and it was far in between. So hopefully we get to see more time for guys like Darren Porter, JJ Pegues, Tonka Hemingway, guys that came in and were able to go ahead and showcase a little bit and see that, there's some potential there, right? Hopefully that happens this season coming around. Again, I feel that, having Robbie being there and witnessing everything that kind of went on, and I'm pretty sure he was scratching his head a lot of times because Pete was running that show. I think that things will look different. Scheme is going to look fucking different. We're not going to be running cover 3 all the fucking time. A fraction of the time is more like it, but definitely not cover 3 all the fucking time. Right? That's the biggest thing. I think we're going to see more pressures on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm really looking forward to, the guys that we go after in free agency. But Bradley Chubb, that's the guy that I don't know, man. I would be very hesitant on taking the flyer on him just because of the injury history. It's not good. My guy Ernie says, I feel like Leonard and Kubiak will bring a youth movement. We're already there, bro. I mean, Janoko, Kubiak, and Leonard, they're all in their late 30s, bro. They're all like 38, 37. You have guys like Mike McCoy who's like 53 or something like that, and then uh, you have Joe who's like in his like early 60s. So like the average age is like 29, 30, something like that. So the youth movement is happening, bro. That's a full effect, 100%. Shout out to my guy Raider Mike. He says I would love to get Linderbaum, but he's at the top of the list. We can't land him. He is, bro. He is, and this is why I say that there'll be you'll see a big splash here and there, but not as many as you think because there's certain things that you have to spend money on, and statistically, it's a fact. Teams that spend on their offensive line, they go far. They go far, right? And especially on a rebuilding type of year or years, you need to go ahead and invest in your offensive line. And it's fine if we just maybe get one dude in this free agency. If it's Linderbaum that we can only get because we get outbid or something, fine, cool. I'm cool with that. You draft a guy maybe a little bit earlier in the draft. You could, or you take a guy for depth and you take a stab next year, right? And we have it's not like we flat out fucking suck. The guys that suck, either Parm is leaving, he's a free agent. He's gonna be gone. We still have Alex Cap, I believe, on one more year. You can cut him if you want to, if you need to go ahead and create that space, right? Or whatever. You put him at that. And you can go ahead and bring in guys like Caleb Rogers. You can go ahead and use guys like JPJ on the left side or on the right side. You know what they can. We know that he can play guard for sure. You replace that right tackle position, or you keep Glaze there. You have options. You have that battle between Glaze and Grant. You never know. Anything can happen. So there's some options, but and we'll have setbacks, and that's what I'm saying. It's not necessary that we won't try. I think we might have a setback, like for example, Benton. Benton decided to stay in Seattle. That's a big setback. So now who are we going to go ahead and get an offensive line coach? We're probably going to have the same problem with certain players that are free agent that we can't go ahead and get. There might be one or two guys that you're going to go ahead and pull up the Brinks truck for to go ahead and make it happen. We don't know. That's the problem. So just be ready for those type of scenarios. We might get one or two line guys from this free agency, and it's just because there's just it's probably the way it's going to play out. Shout out to my guy Rafa in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. Oh, sorry, my mouth's a little dry. Shout out to Alex in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. All right. Yes, sir. All right. See, there you go. Jeff got it. Beginning February 17th, beginning this day through 4 p.m. on March 3rd, clubs may designate franchise tag or franchise or transition players. Yep. March 3 prior to 4 p.m. deadline for clubs to designate or franchise or transition players. Transition players. So we're having that coming up pretty soon. So all this stuff is just starting to get underway. So we just need to go ahead and get things ready here. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Raider News Center in the building. What is good, my guy? With hold on, dog. Let me do it right. Raiders. Yes, sir. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. Salute to you. Let's see here. All right. Arnie says, who are the best right tackle center other than Lindenbaum? I think Glaze. In free agency, I think Glaze, JPJ, Roger, Lubada for guards position. You got Braden Smith. He's out there, free agency. He's going to be a free agent and probably going to be highly sought after guy outside of Lindenbaum. So that's a guy that you go ahead and keep your eye on for. And this is what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna have situations where you might have to get into a bidding war. I mean, the market value for a guy like Lindenbaum is just over 25 and a half, I think, maybe 26. You could pay him 28, somewhere around there. Lock him up for 2-3 years, and make that work. You'll have a center for a long time. You can get a guy like Brandon Smith. He's in his late 20s. He's going to be 30 this year. His market value is about 13 and a half at the moment. You know, you can pay this guy 16, 17. Go ahead and lock him up for, 2-3 years, right? You want to go ahead and try to get everybody on the same timeline. That way you're drafting and you're getting ready to go ahead and replace some of these guys. They're going to be getting off their contract, going to be going to be up in age. And as you know, linemen don't last very long. Look at our guy, and that's just a prime example. So it's good to go ahead and just start getting that underway. But the biggest question is, what are you going to do there, right? What are you going to do with guys like Glaze? Are you going to go ahead and keep him at right tackle, or are you going to go ahead and replace him, put him at depth, push him up to guard? What does that look like? And, do you stick with JPJ at center? Do you push him to guard? Again, what does that look like? I think if I'm putting those three guys, Glaze, JPJ, Rogers, JPJ is going to go ahead and win. It's really getting between guys like Caleb Rogers and DJ Glaze, who gets the next guard position. If you're having these guys battle it out. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. If it's for the nation, yes, but if it's to please Max, no. And he's talking about the Robbie Leonard hire. Yeah, bro, I agree. I mean, but again, you had Robbie Leonard. He has experience. He's been, he's worked with Mike McDonald, just won the Super Bowl in Baltimore. He's worked with Brian Flores in Minnesota. So he has experience. He's come from those trees. They're, the guy knows what's up, and he's also been highly regarded throughout the league as well. Raiders has blocked them a couple times already from trying to seek, higher positions or lateral positions and whatnot. So this was, the way that they were interviewing certain individuals outside of Robbie, there was I don't think there was one experienced defensive coordinator that interviewed. Everybody was up and coming. Either they were a coach, a DB coach, or a linebacker coach, or whatever. There wasn't really a guy that they interviewed for this particular position that was already a defensive coordinator, and that just goes to show that it's just because it's so late, it's slim pickings. So it makes sense for them to go ahead and hire a guy like Robbie Leonard to bring in, who's in-house already, who's talented, who's been highly regarded, who knows these guys, who knows how they operate, who knows their strengths. There's no let me get to know you period. He already knows these guys. He's been working with these guys since he's been there for the last 3-4 years now. So it's just about him now getting the coaching staff that he wants to go ahead and bring in, or that's available, and start developing these schemes. That's really what it comes down to, and start getting the right play personnel in place to go ahead and implement that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me see here. All right. Let me go down and take a few more comments. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. Again, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe on your boy. It does help to go ahead and grow the show. Appreciate you guys. I'm 2 away from hitting 1,500. So hopefully, I haven't even checked, bro. I haven't even checked, guys. I don't even know where I'm at. I was like 1496, I think, earlier in the day or something like that. Haven't even checked. So make sure if you guys are new, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, hit those noties, because when news goes down, we go on. Appreciate you guys. And I did hit 1500, 1505. So appreciate you guys. Thank you. Next milestone, 1750. You already know. We're going to do something for the 2000 mark for sure. 100%. We'll do some type of giveaway. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys for supporting the show. Salute to everybody. So let me go ahead and take a few more comments in here. Let's see. Brenna says, I'm down for training Maxx, but only if we keep this coaching staff. I don't want another questionable coach walking in, fucking up our future draft pick. Yeah, man. If that's, if you want to go that route for training Maxx, cool. Yeah, again, that's there's no wrong answers. I just feel for me that we shouldn't actively shop. We shouldn't actively shop them. But if something happens, if it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna cry about it. I think at this point, we just it's like let's get it over with. I think where everybody's at this point is like, if it's gonna be done, let's get it over with and move the fuck on. Because we've been talking about it so long, it's like it's now has become like the elephant in the room. Let's see here. Arnie says Hondo has the Raiders training back up into 20s to get a right tackle. Which right tackle do you like in the draft? Worthy of a first round pick? I wouldn't trade back. And just to get a fucking right tackle in the 20s. I think any real good offensive linemen are probably going to be gone way before 20. Probably talking about like within the first 12 spots, they're going to be gone. So I wouldn't trade back. For me, it's Fernando. We need to go ahead and address that position. I don't really follow Honda that much anymore, bro. Like, yeah, nah, I'm good off with that dude. But if he wants straight back to go ahead and get a right tackle, cool. I mean, if it was smart, then you would try to go ahead and make a trade with the Jets or Cardinals or somebody like that to try to get a higher draft pick. But hey, whatever, man. Whatever floats his boat. Yeah, I think obviously Fano and Mogai, they're gonna be going higher. That's why I don't see us getting anything good at 20. And if you are, you're overreaching at that point, bro. Because normally you would get these guys in the second. So let's say you do that, and if you have the 20, you're probably getting a corner, a receiver, something along those lines. You could possibly get. I mean, I don't know what they have Ty Simpson projected, but even that, bro, I wouldn't even fuck with a quarterback till like later in the rounds, to be honest with you. So you're getting a corner, you're getting a linebacker, you get a wide receiver at that point. But like if it's a lineman or something like that, yeah, that's something you probably get in a second. Yeah, there you go. yeah, bro, I'm good off of that. I didn't know he said that. Hold on, wait, it's not coming up. Kondo said also that NFL teams will hire Brandon Carroll. All right, bro. We'll see. Yeah. Let's see. Arnie says, how much of an influence does Leonard have in hiring defensive position coaches under him? I think he has a lot of influence, bro. Really, Kubiak's going to be relying on him to take care of that side of the ball. So he's going to want to He's gonna let him bring in the guys he feels that are gonna be best for the job. Also, too, again, we're late in the game. Not a lot of dudes are gonna be out there that are available. Floor guys like coaches and stuff like that might be, but the higher ones, those are going to be a little bit more tougher to fill. Again, the availability, it's kind of hard to go after. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick some guys from the collegiate level as well. You know, again, it's all depending the relationships. Relationships matter in this league, so we'll see who they go after. My guy SoCal says Raiders have been training or letting their great players go for years. Don't be surprised that Maxx is traded before the draft. Yeah, bro, that would be ideal. If you're gonna move off of Maxx, you're gonna want to do it right before the draft. That's the way you want to do it. You want to get draft capital for him. That's the route. And like I said, you're not going to get a whole lot. And the first round pick, because he is worthy of a first round pick, that is 100% guaranteed. But it's not going to be a number 10 pick. It's going to be that lower 20th ish pick. Anywhere in between the 20s. Like if it's 20, 21, 22, cool. But it's probably going to be around the mid 20s, late 20s. Somebody who's a contender is going to want to take the stab. The reason why I say this, and I know I got Jeff in here, he's like, it doesn't matter. We got somewhere we're going to get the max value. But the realistic thing that he doesn't tell you, I'm going to tell you, is that teams are on a fucking rebuild are not going to go after a guy like Maxx Crosby. It does not make sense. Like they have other positions to fill. For them to go ahead and go after a big name like Maxx, it just does not fit the equation. Like it just does not make sense. But teams are like a couple pieces away. We have a Niners, the Lions, Cowboys, whatever other teams similar to that effect. Those are the teams that are going to go and try to make a bid. And these are guys that are willing to go ahead and give up their number 27th pick for them to go ahead and go after Maxx. That's what you're looking at. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. It's not what you think you're going to get. I just want to put that reality out there. Shout out to my guy Red Well, the building. What is good, my guy? Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. All right. Let's see here. All right. Shout out to Paul, Raider Paul in the building with the hold on. Yes, sir. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. Let's see. Boy, that says I met carpenters that are smarter than Hondo. He's a disgrace to the blue collar working man. Let's go blooded, my guy. Salute. Let's see. Arnie says we went from Carroll 2.0, semi-retired players, Adams, Lockett, Stone, Forsythe, to Kubiak building on the draft, plus UDFA, second year players development. Yeah, bro, it's a full circle moment. So hopefully we get, again, just getting the building blocks in place. That's really what I'm looking for, bro. That's really what I want. I'm not trying. I don't see us having, a stellar record. I still see us below 500, bro. Honestly, I mean, I don't even want to put wins on there. My whole thing has always been like, let's just look competent out there. Let's look like a fucking football team out there. Whether it's 5 wins, 4 wins, 6 wins, whatever. Like that shouldn't be the expectation. And that's where P fucked himself up last year. This motherfucker went out and says, we're gonna go win 10 games. Like nobody fucking told him that. He put it out there, right? We fell way short from that. Way short. But we ended up getting the number one pick out of it. Great. But we fell way short. This is a total rebuild. There shouldn't be any type of pressure to, get something that really realistically is not going to be there. And you heard Spytech when this whole thing got set in motion. When they let Pete go, he let everybody know this is a rebuild. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to be something that works for multi-year success. This is where we're at. Shout out to my guy James in the building. What is good, my guy? With the yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. Salute. All right. Yes, sir. Just win, baby. My guy, run down in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute. Hopefully your boy is feeling better. Yeah, these kids are barely getting better as well. So light at the end of the tunnel for sure. Light at the end of the tunnel. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have any franchise players attack, bro, for sure. Let's see here. James said, what about Pickens as wide receiver one in free agency? I don't see Dallas letting him go. They're probably going to try to go ahead and re-sign him. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if he becomes available, cool. Let's see what we can do. But I think first and foremost, that offensive line needs to be addressed. 100%. My guy Arnie says Rodney Hudson was such a huge impact on our past great offensive line. Any other great centers we took pick up. Like we look to pick up. I don't know. Offhand, bro. I mean, you have McGovern out there. You have a couple of names. McGovern is on. He's only 28. He's on those later 20s, but still young. After that, the the type of guys that are out there, they're not all that great, but McGovern would possibly be a guy that you can go ahead and just keep your eye on. And this is the thing, bro. As far as center, we already have a center in Billy, so if we can't get our guy, it's not like we don't have a guy that can go ahead and do the position do the job really good. We know what JPJ can do. That's the thing. But Leonard Baum would be an upgrade to that dude. This is facts because he's been playing the position longer. He's also a Remington winner. He was with Baltimore, was solid. For whatever reason, they decided not to go ahead and pick up his fifth. And if they don't, they could still resign him. But if they don't, then this is where we get into some shit. Right. I think they could still elect to go ahead and figure that out and probably get him on a cheap deal. But I don't know. They could have just elected pick up that option. I think they still could. I think they have another week or so or something like that. So let's see. Would you keep Kappa as depth? He's under contract. So for me, I would clip him. I don't know how much you would save offhand by letting Kappa go. It's not that much. If they keep him at depth, that's fine. But yeah, if you need to go ahead and make space, for sure, release that dude. D Money. If the Raiders draft Mendoza, would it be worth Pat Coogan at center? He would have that Mendoza chemistry. You could potentially draft that guy, but again, Coogan Coogan's cool, bro, but I think JPJ is better. This is the thing. You also want to go ahead and get this guy used to working with other people. You just want to go ahead and always bring this continuity. You're not always going to be able to. He's going to have to learn to play with certain players. I mean, come on now, bro. I mean, he's not familiar with Brock. How's that going to work out, right? Are you going to bring in his fucking tight end to just because you're familiar with them? No. Brock's the best tight end in the fucking league. He has to figure that part out. He has to go ahead and be able to work with these guys. And I think he has a great approach to it. I don't think that's going to be much of an issue, right? I think the most important part that we have to go ahead and stay focused on, to be honest with you, is just the coaching. And we got that already cinched up. We got Clint Kubiak, Andrew Janoko. Yes, Janoko's a coordinator. Is he going to be calling plays all the time? No, he's not. He's going to be calling plays part of the time and helping Kubiak really, get that playbook developed and whatnot. That's their job, right? They're going to be bouncing off one another. That's all I need them to do and develop Fernando if they're going to go ahead and draft Fernando Mendoza. Those are the two best guys you want to go ahead and bring in to do that sort of thing. The other part is going to be built around it, right? So receiver, the line. That's it. We already have a tight end in place that can play a wide receiver and run role. We already have a running back that has potential to do something this season coming up if we're able to go ahead and really, address that offensive line. So I wouldn't be too much on the Coogan thing. It's hard to go ahead and kind of get these guys. Sometimes they get snatched up by other teams. So I want to start getting him used to other shit too. So let's see. Raiders should look into Jennings. Jennings Dunker. This guy is a monster. Oh yeah, bro. I've seen and heard of him for sure. My guy Arnie says, would you resign Kuntz or pay Joey Bosa $11 million to help Max with pass rush? Honestly, bro, if you can get Kuntz on a cheap deal, then yes. Other than that, no. Bosa, I would not sign him for the reason being that fucking guy gets injured a lot. So how much is he really going to be on the field, bro? Got to ask yourself that. Let's see. Would you cut Geno before June 11th or after June? Before June 1st or after June 1st? Before June 1st. Honestly, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. You're saving roughly about $8 million. That's what you're gonna get. So I think we need to go ahead and end that relationship no matter what. I know there's people who have said, maybe we should go ahead and keep Geno for that bridge or whatever. The relationship between us and Geno, this organization and Geno, is just so far gone and so it's so fucked that I don't think it's fixable. And I think you run the risk of poisoning the well. We know where Geno's mentality is at. Also, mind you, that these guys, Kubiak, was able to go ahead and get his ass traded to us this past season. And look what they did. History is most likely going to go ahead and repeat itself. But for sure, you don't want to poison the ball. That's a big factor right there. For sure, 100%. Shout out to my guy, Raider DeVillain. He says, Linderbaum, center, Jones, right tackle, Alex Pierce at receiver, draft targets Mendoza, and all defense. There you go, bro. I'm not mad at it. It's all right. I don't mind Alex Pierce, bro. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's another thing that you can potentially go after if you don't go after Rashid. So, yeah. Yeah, you don't get better by giving up your best talent for a if. But and they maybe yep. Let's see here. Arnie says Pete was heavy in denial. Geno Smith led us with Brendan Carroll offensive line to yeah, for sure, bro, for sure. A shout out to my guy G Fam in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, my guy Yaya in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute. Shaheed over Pickens, in my opinion. There you go, bro. I like Shaheed, bro. My guy Chewy. What is good, my guy? Salute. Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate you, my guy. Salute. All right. Let's see. So I think we covered all the bases, y'all. We did the draft talk. We talked about that. And Mendoza and what it could look like. Picking up if according to Honda, we trade back and we pick up a lineman at around the 20s. Right. That's a pretty fucking move, but whatever. We addressed the Maxx rumors and whatnot. We'll see what Maxx, bro. I honestly think I don't think he's gonna go anywhere. I've said this. I'm not gonna change my position on it. I don't think we should shop him. If the trade happens, it happens. If it doesn't, great. If it does, cool. Let's move forward, bro. Let's move forward. I think it's that time where we just gotten off a point where I think we just got to a point where we just got to go ahead and just be done with it, dude. And that's the thing with the whole rumors. If the whole Alex Guerrero thing is true or not. It's just a lot of hearsay. I mean, it could be true. There could be some smoke behind it. Again, I think it's just like it could be honestly just been blown out of proportion, and media has took a hold of it, and this is where we're at now. That's just kind of how things happen. My guy says I'd rather draft Mendoza, start AOC for the first half of the season, but best case. Clint Kubiak makes him look good, becoming trade bait. Worst case, he's a test dummy until the run game and pass blocking kicks in. I mean, look, I'm not mad. I wouldn't hate the idea of putting out their AOC to be the bridge. He's on his final rookie. He's on the last year of his rookie deal. That's where we're at. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to cut him. I mean, you're not saving a lot of money by doing it. We know what he is. For sure, he's a good backup. For sure, that's what he is, and he's been with us for so long. He knows these guys. Knows Trey Tucker, knows Brock to a certain extent, knows Ashton Genty. So he knows certain guys, right? So I think you keep him. I don't see Kenny, and honestly, Kenny Pickett's gone. Deuce. Geno's gone. So what do you have after that? You have AOC. And you have him cheap, about just over $1 million, like $1.2 million or something like that, $1.3 million, whatever his salary is for this year. It's not a whole lot. So keep him. And you can either keep him as a backup or you can put him as a bridge. So you have that. You have options that you can go ahead and do different things with, which is good. That's what you want. That's what you want to have. So, yeah. I don't think Maxx is going to go to the Seahawks, bro. But, hey, you know what? If you guys want to throw in an offer, bro, I mean, have Schneider call Spytech and work that out, So, I don't know. Let's see here. My guy says, as part of the offenses now, we're better suited for 12, 13 personnel. I'd probably bring in Foster as a third tight end. You can stay with Ian Thomas, whatever Kubiak's feeling, if that's if he wants to go ahead and bring in some other dude, he wants to go ahead and part ways with Thomas, that's fine. I mean, again, third stringer, not too concerned about it. I think the most important thing that and I'm really excited to see is hopefully finally the real implementation of 12 personnel. We'll have Big Mike and Brock out there and really operating and really being effective out there. And Clint Kubiak is the guy to go ahead and do it. As why you mad would know if him being a Seahawks fan apparently, um, he knows Clint could do it. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. But if they want to offer that again, if they want Maxx, and everything is supposedly true that they want to go ahead and trade Maxx. Oh, it'll be done, bro. If there's honestly a time where that is more possible, it would probably be right now. Will probably be right now before the season starts. Yeah. It was for sure. So, hey man, congrats to you guys. You guys won. You guys won the bowl, and you guys are champs. So it's all good. Hopefully everything works out for you guys this season as well. I know trying to put some pieces back offensively is going to be a challenge. So we'll see. My guy says, I think we're going to have more pieces on defense than people will give us credit for. We drafted players Pete Harley let play. Yeah, I mean, again, Darian Porter, J.J. Pegues, Tonka Hemingway, these are all guys that show promise that could potentially be something. Obviously, they need the right coaching, more reps to see what we really have. The only one, obviously, that I say that we don't really know is Cody Lindenberg. We didn't see a whole lot from him, but again, this guy was a 7th round pick. Not expecting a whole lot from him. This draft coming up, obviously, there's a lot of linebacker class is going to be pretty deep. Definitely want to go ahead and keep a lookout on that. Guys from fucking Texas Tech, anybody playing defense on Texas Tech, definitely keep your eye on Jacob Rodriguez. Tocayo being one of those. Keep your eye out on that guy. You want to go ahead and definitely look at that. A couple other guys, especially on that defensive line for Texas Tech, that could be potential guys as well. We heard Dunker as well. So there's a few names out there that you want to go ahead and keep your eye on. But we're going to be doing mock drafts pretty soon. I think we can go ahead and maybe do one next week. We start getting that underway. Now that we know who the defensive coordinator is, we know who's going to be offensive coordinator, special teams guy. So, though, we can go ahead and really start putting these mocks together, right? And I've been looking towards that. So, I think next week we'll go ahead and really get that going for sure. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap in for sure, 100%. Hang on one second here. I don't know what's going on with me. All right, there we go. Fingers tripping. Okay. My guy Mike says, I really could look forward to seeing both Bowers and Mayer blow up defenses. Yes, sir, bro. And again, Clint's going to be the guy who can go ahead and definitely work 12 personnel and make that effective and make that look very exotic, bro, and really full defenses for sure. Let me see. Guy DeVellin says, I'm looking at D tackle, linebacker, free safety, and corner in that order. I would honestly, bro, I would flip the D tack on the linebacker. Our D tackles they're cool, man. They're not the best, but they don't fucking suck either. Um, could we get better guys? Yes, but do they suck? No. I like Adam Butler. I like Jonah, Thomas Booker. To see if they're going to go ahead and bring him back. I definitely wouldn't mind. Coons is a different story. I expected more from Coons. So let's see who they go ahead and go after on the edge part. But I think honestly, you want to go ahead and really put together that linebacker room. If you're able to go ahead and bring in guys like Jacob Rodriguez, which I think will probably go somewhere maybe, I think mid second to late second, probably all the way down to maybe at the worst late third. I know on different mocks they had him like in the fourth round, but this guy is fucking talented. So I think he's gonna go right away. I think he's probably gonna be a second round pick. Um, so we might have to go ahead and take that flyer, that second round pick, and put it on that dude. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what direction they want to go ahead and go there. They're going to go offensive player, or they're going to go ahead and go defense, and what position are they going to go ahead and go after? Right. Let's see. My guy Hugh Jack City says Matt Robinson will make Raiders DBs top 5 in the league interceptions. Hopefully, bro. Hopefully. Again, it's who we get in that secondary. I mean, we know Eric Stokes is a free agent. Do they bring him back, or we can go ahead and go towards someone else? Darian Porter is the guy that we know that right now is probably going to be CB2, right? Maybe. We'll see. Depends again who they bring in. So hopefully that's the case, bro. Hopefully that's the case. I think since Eric Stokes is probably going to be leaving, he's probably going to be CB1 at the moment, right? Until they either draft somebody, or most likely they get somebody free agency to go ahead and really cinch up that CB1 position. So let's see. Trenches will be my priority until it's fixed. I'm not too worried about that part. I honestly think, for me, all I can say is, for me, the linebacker room is more of a concern than the trenches, because I feel that we have guys there that can definitely make things happen for sure. I think it's just to upgrade certain people. The other side of Maxx, the other side of Adam Butler. So that all depends. Raider Knight. Shout out to my guy Raider Knight. He says no to Tyreek unless he's on a very team friendly deal. He's still recovering from a dislocated knee, torn ACL, and also a fucking head case. So you have that. I don't know if he's gonna necessarily fit over here. It's a lot of temptation over here, bro. So that's gonna be another distraction if you bring in Tyreek Hill. I don't think our team is necessarily ready for Tyreek Hill in that sense. I think we need to go ahead and really address this offensive line. And if you go after a guy like Tyreek Hill, you're going to go ahead and you're going to spend like what 30, 40 mil on this price tag. Yeah, that doesn't equate. I would rather go ahead and put that towards a lineman or two. You could definitely get 2 linemen for that price. Yeah, I don't even know off the top of my head what Tyreek Tyreek's value is, but I'm assuming it's uh, somewhere north of 40. Let's see. Yeah, about 50. 50 plus sell. There you go. north of 40, north of 50. That's what you're looking at. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see here. All right, go ahead and get your final questions in, guys. Again, I didn't expect to be them this long, but definitely love rocking with you guys. As always, man, appreciate you guys pulling up, talking some Raider football. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe. Really just go ahead and help the show out and help the show grow. Hit that like, hit that subscribe on your boy. Hit those notifications. When news goes down, I go on. Don't want to be left out in the dark. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Let's see here. Um, Over here with my fingers crossed, hoping Lucky Tassi makes the team, show some promise in preseason for someone who's never played. That is a total project for sure, my guy. I think for him, it's going to take a long time to go ahead and develop. Um, I think they're going to always bring him back under that international player initiative. So he might be back. You never know, depending what these guys want to do. If they want to go ahead and utilize them. Hugh Jack says no bad players, only bad coaches. Now we have hungry, smart coaches, Young and Martin for sure, 100%. My guy, we are a total youth movement, but these guys are pretty smart in their own right. So we hope to see great things coming out, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Again, you know, win wise, there shouldn't really be any expectations. Again, this is a rebuild. It's going to take some time. It's not going to always look pretty, but it should look better than what it was this past season. So I can't wait to see. So let the Queef spend money on Tyreek. Yep, exactly, bro. Let them worry about that. Pickens is a bigger headache than Tyreek. Pass on both. Offer Pierce money. Online is obviously the priority. 100%, bro. 100%. And that's the thing. What you get with Alec Pierce, he is on the lower end. I believe he's anywhere from 15 to 18. So you're not having to go ahead and throw a whole back. So here you go. I got about just 20. You can go ahead and spend maybe 23, 24 if that's what you want to go ahead and give them. I think see what Raheed his market value is. He's on the cheaper end. He's anywhere from about 15 and a half. So you can go 20 on that, 18, 20, and he can be reunited with Clint. And you have a more likelihood of possibly getting that cinched in because of Clint as opposed other teams, right? I feel like you would charge more to other teams. But having the ability to go ahead and get reunited with Clint, and doing it out here in Vegas with a guy like Fernando Mendoza, with Brock Bowers, Justin Genty, and then Maxx Crosby. If he's still here, I think that's attractive in itself. But we'll see. Yeah. Gotta pay the bad team tax for sure. But we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and head on out, y'all. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me on this Monday night. Salute to you guys. And again, make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for the Raider Connection. We're gonna be doing the damn thing this Wednesday coming up. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap in for that one. It's going to be 7 p.m. on the West Coast. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit that noti for the show, the Raider Connection, every damn Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Just Raiders. I'll be with my guy, Tito Linus. My guy, Raider Jeff, who was in here earlier, and LB Raider 10. We're going to be doing the damn thing. We'll talk about all the coaching hires, what this team is going to look like in the future. We'll get everybody's take on this, and obviously we'll talk about the damn Maxx Crosby rumors as usual. As usual, we can't get away from it, but we'll go ahead and talk about that and so much more on Combine. Literally a couple of weeks away. Talk about that. So make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for that one again on Wednesday with the fellas for sure. Let's see. All right. All right. But other than that, y'all, appreciate you guys. I will see you guys on Wednesday. As usual, make sure hit that like, hit that subscribe on your boy. All right, there we go. I'm just trying to set this thing up here. And always remember, just Raiders. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. I will see y'all on Wednesday. Peace.